Yay, we're Philadelphia. What's up?
Yep.
Love it. Thank you guys for coming on together. This is a super special moment when, we have a couple sharing what their two-word story is as one. And how
Yeah.
powerful is that? It's just like, because you are one unit, you're two hearts joined together. And I get the chills when I think about, the power and magnitude of thinking of a two-word mantra for you together. Because when life gets a bit rocky, you can circle right back to that mantra, as a couple, as a team, as a partnership, because that's where it all starts, supporting one another. So on that note, I'll have you guys introduce yourself. Take it away.
Ladies first.
Oh, no, you go.
I'm CEO and founder of Outside the Box Productions. I guess by introducing myself, I should really say that Hayley's the co-founder, and I wouldn't have started Outside the Box had it not been for Hayley. So we work on content creation, and essentially we are marketing consultants. We started together. I'm kind of like the person that throws the paint at the wall. Hayley is known as the stencil that is pulled off after. Hayley's super type A. I'm very creative. So together we make this one really strong marketing consultant. So a lot of the times we brand ourselves as a unit, as a partnership, because we also are really big advocates of the male-female perspective being necessary in each decision, because every time that we have like a decision to make, we align together and we both bring topics and questions to the table that it would have been a detriment to us had we not had a conversation with one another. So I love creativity. I love what I do for a living. That's why we decided to kind of branch off and be entrepreneurial. We want to love what we do every day. So we've kind of spent the past 4 or 5 years together, even a little bit of our time in college together. When we met at Temple, we kind of established a plan. We took classes to basically build our business together. And since then, we have just worked on growth in a genuine, organic way.
Definitely. Yeah, so I'm Hayley. As Zach said, I'm the CCO and co-founder of Outside the Box. And yeah, Zach and I met at Temple, and I was going to San Diego State. I was from the local Philadelphia area and then was like, where do I want to go to college? What is the absolute most beautiful place? That's where I want to learn. I just looked at a map and was like, oh, San Diego, 75 and sunny. That sounds fantastic. Mm-hmm. So I left and I went and started my life there. And then about halfway through, realized that it wasn't necessarily, I had almost finished my journey there. I accomplished so many of my goals. Yeah. And then I just kind of was looking like, what do I want to be when I grow up, and what's next, and what's, next in my journey. So I had moved home, went to Temple, didn't know anyone, was like lonely and sad, and was like, what the hell did I just do? Why did I leave San Diego? Like, what am I doing? And then I met Zach, and, it was like, this is where I'm meant to be. This is totally right. And his whole thing was, he's very passionate and a passionate creative. And he kept saying to me, like, what do you care about? That's what you should do. That's what you should be when you grow up. You should love what you do. And I was like, no, that's not how it works. You like hate your job and then you live your life, and that is what it is. And you just, put your head down, and that's kind of how it goes. And it was all about, no, this should make you happy and you should love it. And then, the more he started talking about his ideas and the things that he, was passionate about, and all the creative mind that is in this person, it just was kind of like, I can complement this and I can help.
The alarm before this meeting.
Yeah. I said before we hit record, I was like, I love bloopers. They're actually, it's like a real deal thing. So we welcome the alarms. It's all good.
Production value. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, point being that then at that point, that's when we started really putting our heads together and seeing what Outside the Box could be and really develop into. And, Zach had all of the ideas, and then it's me like color coding, making it packaged and sellable. So
and tangible. But yeah, and then I should say too, like, it was really interesting in the sense of path. Like Hayley said, we kind of met in such an interesting way. I played soccer for Lower Merion my whole life for the township. Hayley grew up there. So, and we knew so many of the same people. So it was almost like we should have met, never met.
It was and not then, our time.
Like, I played soccer at Temple. I got my 6th concussion. I had always planned on kind of going to the next step. Then I had to completely recalibrate my life. Like, what was I going to do? Who was I? I'm not a soccer player. So I had this complete like Phoenix rise out of the ashes, but that took a while. Like, I had to rediscover myself completely. Tried music, took like a year out of college, went back into it with a production mindset. And then, you know, influence in my life, like my grandparents on both my parents' side were entrepreneurs and worked together, and my parents worked together. So I always knew, like, love story wise, like that's what I wanted. So, you know, here we are, we met a writing workshop, and, you know, it's developed into 5 years later. We've, you know, spent every day together. So
Yeah.
You're adorable. I can't. You're so, and what I love watching your creativity, like I love watching your stories. It's just such a very beautiful capturing of life, and even the little details, intricate details of life that are so important that we might not tune into. And it's mindfulness. It's you have a beautiful energy that you bring to your brand. So, and do you guys work with people like all over the world or the country? I mean, really, right? Yes.
Yeah, so interestingly enough, we do. And I'll let you tap in on this, but as we've been growing, essentially, like, you know, we have a wide range of clients, and we do, you know, marketing consultants. Essentially, we fill the gaps. So in this space, we know, especially with hiring right now, either you can't afford a full-time marketing team, in which case we can slide in and then meet your budget, outsourced, and then help you with a long laundry list of to-dos. Like, essentially, we can do the graphic design, website, SEO, the actual, you know, distribution of the content, the filming of the content, etc. So we do that for food brands, restaurants, nonprofits, healthcare management companies, and a lot of those companies think with an international mindset. So for the nonprofits and the healthcare companies, we do have to think about marketing internationally. And that has been just such a brain expansion for us, honestly. We've learned so much just through trial and error and A to B tests. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it's so much fun. We definitely get to meet people and work with people we obviously wouldn't have otherwise. And, you know, the other day we did a virtual Zoom experience where we filmed through Zoom and then basically took all that content and reworked it to be something professional that could live on a website. And it was with 3 different physicians. So we were FaceTiming with one person in Australia, one person in Los Angeles, one person in Pennsylvania. And then obviously we were in Pennsylvania as well. And we're sitting there being like, this is the amazing part of, you know, what connection is through you know, the internet and social media and all of these things. So it's very exciting.
Yeah,
great example. Go ahead.
Well, and to our point earlier, the thing we were kind of talking about before all this is, like, things are tough right now. It's really easy to kind of fall into negativity, but there are ways to pivot. It's all about trying to focus on the silver linings, you know, like, we wouldn't have been able to do the shoot otherwise. I wouldn't be spending as much time with my family if I hadn't, like, you know, basically closed my circle and chose who I quarantined with. There's other things to focus on to try and stay positive and have purpose in the day. And, like, creativity is huge for us. It's our passion and our job. So it's a huge part of, like, how we get through these times.
Yes, I know, and I love that and your introduction was so beautiful because it did give us some background and really to get to know you two and how you two came together. So thank you for that amazing introduction, and just get to know what you do in your business. And but what is your 2-word story? So what you were just saying leads into. So please share as a couple. What is your 2-word story?
We're gonna go with choose happiness.
Yes.
Yay! Love it.
Much thought.
Yeah. Especially at times like this, I think it's all about, when it comes to work-life balance in general, choosing happy is always the way to go. You know, if you need a break from work and you need a breather, take that break for your mental health. And I think that's also what we're working on in this time. It's, you know, it's not the regular 9 to 5 anymore. So we're actually all working more sometimes. And it's like, provide yourself the structure in this new space so that you can still be successful and happy.
Totally.
I know, but I love too, with, you know, those in your life are very blessed to be friends and family with you, but then your clients are lucky to have you guys because you do have this all-encompassing appreciation for life and for even the difficult times. So it's really the challenging part of our humanity. When we are in a difficult time, can we stay happy? Like, how do you do that? And so you guys are a great example of that. You're a shining example.
Oh,
Thank
well,
you so
thank you.
much. That was beautifully said.
It's actually so interesting you say that, because in the same way you were saying, we want the bloopers, we want to see natural life. I think, with quarantine especially, we're seeing more and more of that all the time, right? Like, our life and the typical structure that we're so used to as people is gone, right? It doesn't exist anymore. And there's that bit where, you try and there has to be a level of, you put on a face almost sometimes for your clients, or for people that you work with when you're trying to be a professional and all of these other things. But the little wall is also down. And I think we take a lot of time with our clients before we even start a meeting to say, like, how are you doing today? Yeah. Are you okay? I know you just found out that your kids aren't going to school. Should we talk about that first? Because we're not going to get through anything else if you're not like happy and you don't have the means to talk about these things and vent about these things. So, breaking that third wall has been huge for the happiness bit.
That's amazing. And what I love about choose happiness and choose happy as your mantra as a couple, it applies in every aspect of your life. And you guys, we all know, in being in a relationship, there are things that the one another annoys us with, right? There are it just happens, or we're having a bad day and we want to take it out on the person we love the most. But it's like circling back to that choose happy. And you guys have to it's like your pause button to stop and be like, wait, how can we choose happiness right now? Because we're both not feeling good with each other. What's going to make us both feel happy? And then it's a way to express yourself. So like, communication is happiness. It's like,
wow,
like this energy of amazingness.
Yeah, that is so true. We call it a check-in in our relationship. Like, let's say we're talking hardcore professionally and we are disagreeing once again with that type A creative thing. It does happen, but we have tools now. We have communicational tools to navigate that respectfully, professionally, and then sometimes not professionally. Sometimes it's a moment to say, this is a girlfriend-boyfriend conversation. This has nothing to do with work.
Yes.
So it's really about, just like you said, like coming up with the communicational tools and having the respect for one another to offer your passive aggressive thoughts out there in a non-aggressive way so that they can be heard, understood, and dealt with.
Yes. Yeah. The middle of an argument, if you can stop, take a deep breath and realize, whoa, I don't want this to be my day. There is so much, this is going to ruin the day for both of us. That doesn't make anybody happy.
Yeah.
That's not what we want. We're literally arguing because we want to show that we both love each other. Like, that's generally our arguments, is like, I love you more though, but look at how I tried to love you. But
one time we went on a hunger strike because we couldn't decide what to eat, because we both wanted to make sure we were getting what the other person wanted, so that we never ate anything.
That's like, generally the
whole thing. But so that's like an example of when it doesn't work out well. 98% of the time it goes great.
Yes, but at this point, and especially in a COVID world, it has to be like, you are my partner. Yeah. I only want to face the day with you by my side. So we got to get this together so that we can keep going, because we have a lot we need to discuss.
Yeah, the first discussion in bed and in the morning is like everything. Totally. It's also like, if you take that sigh from reading an email, like before you actually get up out of bed, stretch, breathe, like that. I've seen a lot of
advice.
Difference in my day, it like depending on that moment.
Totally.
I love that advice. And I love what you pulled in the word respect. And so I really am linking in my mind, when you choose happiness, you're respecting yourself and you're respecting those around you. And really hone in on that happiness. So, this mantra is here for all of you guys who press play. Think about and sink into this mantra for the week. And are you choosing happy, or are you waking up and feeling kind of in a yucky space right now, or maybe you're in a funk? And maybe make a list of gratitude. What are the little things that make you happy? Sometimes you can find happiness just staring at the trees, the way they're blowing in the wind. Like, it's weird. Like, you can just tap into little things that make you happy. And in a relationship sense, choose happy. Maybe make a list together of the things that make you happy as a couple. Pinpoint those strong suits. Like, it's like these call to actions are important with the mantra. Knowing the story that falls underneath the mantra. choosing happiness is a vibration, and that vibration will only cause you to feel better each and every day. You almost have to, when you're in a funk, you almost have to force yourself into the mantra. I hate to say that, but it's a mindset shift, you know? So
No, I
all
totally
good
agree.
stuff.
I think that's amazingly said. And that makes me think to myself, as well as that, it's also taking out the negativity. It's not just like, what can I add as positivity? It's like, I have a lot of friends, their job drastically affects their happiness. You
Sure.
know, they're not happy at work. And then it's about advocating to like change. How can you find that happiness? Like, you know, remove those things that are affecting you. And also when it comes to the partner, like one thing I've learned a lot is, you know, Hayley's happiness makes me happy. So that it's also like on the back end, what
Yeah.
can you do to make your partner happy that makes you happy? Instant win. So it's like, I totally agree with that. I think if your focus is on coming up with ways to make the people around you happy, you yourself will also be happy.
Agreed.
Totally.
Yeah,
This
I
is
think.
very much an important message for everyone. So the vibration of happiness, it's very powerful. So thank you guys for coming on as the very first couple to share their mantra together.
It
Thank
was a
you for
pleasure.
having us. This was great.
Yes.
So much fun. And I will include all the information to follow and get in touch with them, support them, follow them, show the love, right? We're this mindset community together, and we're sending love to everybody.
Yeah. And make sure to reach out. This is an amazing experience. Thank you so much.
Thank
Yes, thank you guys.